Okay, so we found some blinds at IKEA that are absolutely fantastic. They're the TRIPPEVALS, which is the block out cellular blind, and we also got the HOPPVALS, which is the sheer blind. Both of them have this honeycomb so that the air gets trapped inside between the window and the room, which is really fantastic. The thing that I love the best is because we have two small kids that you might be able to hear eating crackers behind you, is that there's no cords. And so I haven't put on the little attachment at the bottom yet, but it's so easy and it's safe. So I went and bought a bunch of these for our whole house, and now my husband has the job of modifying them. And so this is what the basic one looks like. This is the 120 centimeter, and you can see from inside here that this is the mechanism. It allows it to come out like an accordion, and with the spring here, and there's hardly any space on this side, but on this side there's a bit of an allowance, and so it's about 10 centimeters or so. So we have been modifying it from here. So I'm just going to show this one really quick. The kids are all being very helpful with this, and look, away from them. So we have this one, which is, I think this one is the 60 centimeter, and this window is smaller. We want it to go on the inside. And so I measured and I marked right where the tape is, and then taped around it so that when my husband hacksaws it, it goes right in the center. And now we're going to hand over to my husband, who's going to hacksaw. Okay.
So the key was, since we've got the nicely in line there, if we put the brackets on, it's going to hang out a little bit, from the door, which is going to look a bit not as pretty as the one next to it. So if we can cut it to the right length, we can screw it directly into the door window itself. I know it's has a small frame, and then that'll give us the ability to pull it down within the door itself. So it's just going to look a hell of a lot prettier than having the brackets holding it at the front. Plus the air cooling properties of having the coils is going to work better if it's up against the glass. Okay, so we've measured it, we've put the tape, we've put some lines where we want to do the cutting. The benefit of this is that we do have that 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters gap there before any of the equipment is utilized, and that gives us quite a bit of buffer to cut off. If we need more than that, we could always cut one off on each one if we're putting two and two together. And all we need is a hacksaw. We've gone through various different things for this, but we decided that the hacksaw is the simplest. Straight standard steel hacksaw blade. And we're just going to cut straight down. We just got plastic at the bottom because there's going to be iron filings and so forth from this. We just got a vacuum cleaner to cut them up afterwards.
Can you boys move back, please?
Okay, we're going to do some hacksawing. Come on.
Boys, move back.
In the kitchen.
And leave that blind be. Thank you. Here, I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah. Air soften. Go back.
Two kids, perfect. Okay. The other one, do I have two?
Yeah, there are two of them.
Okay.
The other one's right behind you.
Okay, so I'm just going to make sure, 100%, putting it against the window, and make sure that where we're cutting is perfect. So it's got to fit exactly in there.
Get back to the table, buddy.
So I'm going to, so this is, again, the simplest of the process. Now this is very thin steel, or even aluminium, I'm not sure. So it does not take much to cut it. But we do want to make sure that everything's nicely lined up, and once we start cutting, we're going to cut straight down through the metal, through the plastic felt, whatever it is, louvers, which is why we've got them all nicely compressed, so we can cut everything straight through and straight to the end. job. Okay.
And now we'll take the piece. Abraham, can you get that piece? That's the piece we need.
Why?
Okay, so I'm going to take out
Thank you.
the end caps that were in there off this piece, and then place them back in here. And then we've got ourselves a shortened version of the blind. Simple as that. Okay, so we've cut it off, we've put the end caps back on that were on there, and now, since it perfectly fits in the groove, it is a window, even holds it there, so all I've got to do is drill 2 little holes on either end and put a tiny little screw into the sides. And because there's a massive open cavity there, which we won't see because it's up high, all we're going to do is we drill a little hole there. We're going to put a little self-tapper screw from the inside out and just start it. And then because it'll be pointing out a little bit, we push that against the wood. So we see a little dot where the self-tapper is pushed into the wood. And then we'll drill that a bit bigger. And then using the Phillips head screwdriver from the inside, when it's held up, we're just going to then screw the screw into the side, and that'll be done, and it will be held up, and it'll be look as professional can be.
Okay, so it's up. There we go. And that's from hacksawing, but it'll work itself out. And then now that it's done, we'll put on the little piece. Snap it together.